Good evening and welcome to the December 8th edition of the Livermore City Council, the holiday edition. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Barrientos.
Present.
Councilmember Dunbar.
Here.
Councilmember Wong. Here. Vice Mayor Branning.
Here.
Mayor Marchand.
Here. If you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, moving on to proclamations and presentations. I believe we have a presentation from the Livermore Valley Arts. It's our annual update by Chris Carter, the CEO of Livermore Valley Arts.
Brandon's going to get up this first slide here. So I'm proud to report that in our 24-25 fiscal year, Livermore Valley Arts supported 222 programs at the Bankhead Theater, along with 8 cultural celebrations on the plaza and over 200 classes, camps, and community programs at the Bothwell Arts Center and throughout Livermore. We also continued to bring thousands downtown through our signature Art Walk and Comic-Con events. In total, more than 90,000 people engaged with our programs last year. This last year, we also produced our first ever immersive art exhibit, Cosmic Odyssey, which allowed guests to step into a room built directly on the Bankhead stage and experience a journey through space. And then we also awarded $10,000 in grants to our resident companies for the arts education work that they provide in our community. And then we quietly launched a new initiative that offers free tickets to our nonprofit partners serving people in need, including Open Heart Kitchen, Tri-Valley Haven, City Serve Tri-Valley, Goodness Village, and VetTix, which is a program that provides tickets to veterans, active duty military, and first responders. One statistic I want to highlight is that our earned revenue hit the highest level in the organization's history, reflecting strong ticket sales across all of our Bankhead Presents programming. But at the same time, we did see a significant drop in charitable giving starting in February, a trend echoed by arts organizations nationwide. Even so, our overall financial health remains strong with over $1.3 million in our operating reserve fund. And then to counter the downturn in giving, we increased our fundraising efforts this year and launched a $1 million matching gift campaign in August. And I'm pleased to share that this effort is now projected to exceed its goal. And as we look to the future, Brandon, you can flip to the next slide if you like. As we look to the future, I want to thank and acknowledge the City of Livermore for entrusting us with one of its most valuable community assets, the Bankhead Theater. It is a responsibility that we take seriously. Since 2007, Livermore Valley Arts has maintained and cared for this facility while working to utilize it to its fullest potential in serving our community through the arts and enhancing the quality of life for Livermore residents. These goals are deeply aligned with the city's mission and priorities, and I hope that alignment is clear in our work. Without the Bankhead Theater, the city would have missed out on more than 3,000 programs, over 1.1 million attendees, and more than $30 million contributed to the downtown economy over the past 18 years. And as a center for the arts, the Bankhead has been essential to the success and growth of local nonprofit arts organizations, including the Livermore Amador Symphony, Pacific Chamber Orchestra, Del Val Fine Arts, Livermore Valley Opera, CYT Tri-Valley Youth Theater, Tri-Valley Theater Company, Cantabella Children's Chorus, and Valley Dance Theater. Livermore Valley Arts has also supported cultural and heritage organizations such as the Livermore Filipino American Association, Livermore Pride, Chezanami, and Tri-Valley for Black Lives. The Bankhead has served as a gathering and learning place for organizations such as the Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance, which has made the Bankhead its primary home for the past decade, along with the Livermore Valley Chamber of Commerce, Visit Tri-Valley, Futures Explored, Quest Science Center, Tri-Valley Rise, Sunflower Hill, Harmony and Healing, the ALS Cure Project, the Pedrosi Scholarship Foundation, the Livermore Cultural Arts Council, the Livermore Arts Association, Alameda County, and even the City of Livermore itself has had events at the Bankhead. We are very much looking forward to our new partnership with Spark as we prepare to present their first theatrical production at the Bankhead this coming May. So in closing, everything we do is driven by our mission to offer a broad range of arts opportunities and experiences that engage, enrich, and inspire our diverse community. Research continues to show that the arts builds empathy, supports mental and physical health, and strengthens local economies. The true value of the Bankhead as a civic asset is immeasurable. But what I can say with confidence is that because of the Bankhead, Livermore is a kinder, healthier, and more vibrant community. I am grateful for the opportunity to steward this important asset, and we welcome the city's continued support and partnership as we work together to ensure that the Bankhead remains a source of pride, unity, and economic vitality for Livermore. And I'm here for any questions that you might have.
And as Picasso said, art washes from my soul the dust of everyday life. Questions, comments? Again, the Bankhead is a tremendous asset. And it's funny, I had never noticed that perspective before, but the Shea Plaza in front of the Bankhead Theater approximates the Stockman Park. It's that same sort of horseshoe shape. So I think the two buildings communicate, the two facilities. But again, it's a tremendous asset to our community, and certainly appreciate the wonderful programming that you continue to bring to Livermore, things that we might not otherwise see. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilmember Barrientos.
Well, I have to give a ticket to go see your performance today. So I came here instead. But I am a member and appreciate the program you have there. And I think we buy at least tickets for 10 shows and we enjoy them.
Thank you.
I
Councilman
just
Wong.
want to express appreciation for the importance of the Bankhead to the city. In particular, the importance of what it brings to the vibrancy of downtown. And it's really what elevates Livermore to a different level as a city. And I've personally benefited a lot from not just the programming at the Bankhead, but as a founding member of Tri-Valley for Black Lives that puts on the Juneteenth Festival at Bankhead Plaza every year. We could not have gotten that project off the ground with the handful of people that are part of the crew if it weren't for the funding, the support, the expertise that Livermore Valley Arts has shared with us, as well as the use of the space. I know from the annual report and also from one of the letters we received from a community member, this is a challenging funding environment for all nonprofits and for the arts in particular, which is sort of taking a backseat to some of the social services that are so needed right now. I wonder if you could say a little bit just about kind of the long-term sustainability of the Bankhead and maybe what do you worry about in the long term?
That's a good question. To speak on fundraising, the challenges are expenses go up every year, obviously, salaries and things like that. And we want to make sure the programming is as best as we can possibly provide. We want to make sure the Bankhead as an asset is in the best shape it can be in. So that's a challenging environment. I think we've done a really good job of on an operational level, getting to where we need to be. The operating reserve has made a big difference. Fundraising, if anybody knows what fundraising is like, it's some years are great, some years are not. Usually you're in it for the long haul. And so the return on your relationships and those investments sometimes doesn't materialize for a long time. So I think for the time being, I think we're in really good shape. In the long term, I want to make sure that the facility itself is cared for as best as possible. I think that's the one thing that I think we can do a better job of really coming together with the plan on that. But other than that, I feel pretty confident on our programming and that we can continue to provide good programming. And I don't think we're going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
I guess I'm looking at our longtime school superintendent in the front row there. And so it makes me think about our challenges with upgrading, keeping our school facilities updated, and that in a relative short amount of time, you're facing a multi-million-dollar upgrade. And so I guess that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, Christy. And we spend a lot of time thinking about what our capital needs are over the long term. We're looking, you think about things like, upgrading equipment, but also mechanical systems and things like that, that we need to have a plan for. We're we're working on a plan on all of those things. We're not 100% there yet. I know there's, when we look at our current list of capital needs over the next 10 to 15 years, it's probably around $2 to $3 million worth of assets that need to be like taken care of or upgraded or maintained in some way. So that's something that we are working on making a plan for all of that, but that's for me, I think the facility itself needs care and it's aging. And so we want to be responsible stewards of that as best as we can. And so that's the one thing that I really would like to make sure that we look towards that in the future.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we have no advisory body appointments tonight, but we do have our open forum. So would the city clerk please tell people how they can participate?
Thank you, Mayor. The City Council's agenda provides opportunities for the public to participate in the meeting by addressing the City Council in the following ways. For non-agendized items, the public has the opportunity during open forum to address the City Council on any item of interest that is within the City Council's subject matter jurisdiction. For agendized items, the public can address the City Council on each item of business it considers when the mayor opens public comment and should be focused on that particular business item. Please note, a speaker is not required to answer any questions from the City Council, and the City Council is not required to answer questions from the public. However, the mayor has the discretion to ask staff to address the speaker's comments when a council member believes it's relevant to a particular business item. When participating in tonight's meeting, one comment may be given per person per item. For consent calendar items, one comment may be given for all items on the consent calendar. If consent calendar items are pulled for discussion by the City Council, a speaker will be allowed one comment for each item pulled for discussion and a separate comment for the remaining consent calendar. To provide comment, please fill out and turn in a speaker card found at the entrance of the council chamber. Speakers will be announced in order received. Once public comment opens, each participant's name will be announced and their 3 minutes will begin once the lectern. The mayor will announce the conclusion of public comment period after comments have been voiced into the record. And Mayor, we have 16 speakers for open forum. The bulk were for item 3.1, but since we don't take public comment on presentations, just so that you know.
All right, very good.
Okay. The first speaker is Joe Lee, followed by Jonathan Clyde, followed by Denise Watkins.
I'm here again to continue cheerleading for the continued adoption of more free software by City of Livermore. I'll start again by reviewing the 4 essential software freedoms. Freedom 0, the freedom to use the program for any purpose. Freedom 1, the freedom to study the source code of the program and to modify it to make it do what you wish. The freedom 2, the freedom to redistribute exact copies of the program to whomever we wish without having to seek permission from the original developer. And freedom 3, the freedom to distribute our own modified versions to whomever we wish, again, without having to ever seek permission from the original developer or vendor. So last time I talked a little bit about freedom 0, the freedom to use for any purpose. Today, freedom 1, I'll just briefly talk a little bit about that, the freedom to study the source code and why that's important. With proprietary software, we are not allowed to study the source code. And if we discover bugs or if we want a feature added to the program, we are at the mercy of the proprietary software vendor. We have to beg them to fix a bug or wait for them to fix it or beg them to add a feature that we want. With free software, we are at liberty to fix it ourselves or add a feature ourselves or hire someone we trust or fund somebody else to develop the feature for us or fix a bug. Security, some people argue that security is improved by obscurity, and that has been proven that it's to not be the case. Security by obscurity, hiding the way things work by not sharing the source code has never worked. And that can be an entire talk in and of itself. So I'll just move on. The other, yeah, I guess there's a lot of speakers, so I'm just gonna. I will point out one thing though. I'm tickled every time I come here because the logo that's mounted on the wall was a reproduction made with free software. That was 10 years ago. I made that reproduction, and the reason I can identify it is because I took liberties with the leaf, the points and the curves on the leaf, because I was made from a very low resolution bitmap that was published 10 years ago. And the California was made with a font that just happened to be on my computer, and it's the Linux Biolinum font. I published it on Wikipedia 10 years ago, and it was in preparation for a workshop I was hoping I would be allowed to give at the Livermore Public Library to teach people how to do professional graphics work and to produce graphics like that using free software. And never got a chance to do it, but I did publish the graphic on Wikipedia, and I was pleased to see that, see it on the wall and also on 3 signs downtown. So I'll leave it there. Thank you.
The next speaker is Jonathan Clyde, followed by Denise Watkins, followed by Mike Biscotti.
Mayor Marchand, members of the council, I'm Jonathan Clyde. I am president of the board of directors of Livermore Valley Opera. I want to speak in support of Chris Carter and the entire LVA staff and reiterate to the council how very important and frankly indispensable the Bankhead Theater and LVA is, not only to the artists and artistic institutions that inhabit it, but to the Livermore community and surrounding areas as well. Livermore Valley Opera is the largest resident company at the Bankhead, and frankly, when our company celebrates its 35th anniversary next year, it would be near impossible to have attained this milestone without the Bankhead as our home. When San Francisco Chronicle chief music critic Joshua Cosman cites LVO produced one of the best musical performances in the top 10 of his annual list, it would have been near impossible without being able to perform it at the Bankhead. Through our education and community engagement program, nearly 3,500 Livermore middle and high school students from Livermore High School, East Avenue Middle School, William Mendenhall Middle School, Joe Mitchell Elementary School, and Junction Avenue Elementary School are offered free admission to full dress rehearsals for the fall and spring operas. This too would have been near impossible without the Bankhead Theater. People come from all parts of the Bay Area to attend not only our performances, but those of other arts organizations, along with noted performers from around the country and the world. The Bankhead is a destination spot that absolutely enhances the city of Livermore, its business, the community, and the city's reputation. You have a true treasure in the Bankhead and the LVA staff that keeps it running like a well-oiled machine. Do not take this for granted. And please continue to value, protect, support, and cherish the Bankhead Theater. Thank you very much and happy holidays.
The next speaker is Denise Watkins, followed by Mike Biscotti, followed by Glenn Riggs.
Good evening. My name is Denise Watkins, and I am the chair of Livermore Valley Arts. I am very privileged to be serving on that board since before the building was actually built. So I've been on the board for over 18 years. It's shown that communities that have active arts activities are healthier in many ways and have better educational outcomes than communities that don't support the arts. Livermore Valley Arts has the Bankhead, the Bothwell. We support cultural events on the plaza and Art Walk downtown, as you've heard, as well as our own arts education programs, some in cooperation with our resident companies and some that we produce and perform ourselves. The Bankhead allows us to provide a broad range of world-class music and performances of many genres: classical, rock, comedy, country, world music. The list could go on. If you can't find something that you're interested in at the Bankhead, I'd be very surprised. Since opening, as Chris mentioned, we've had over 3,000 events, bringing 1.1 million patrons to downtown Livermore. And they come from all over the Bay Area and beyond. Many of these patrons, when they come to downtown, they go to the local restaurants, they go to the local bars, they shop in the local shops. That's the economic impact that Chris talked about. But more, they also come to see and appreciate what a wonderful community Livermore is. We support, as you've heard from the Livermore Valley Opera, multiple resident companies. And before the Bankhead was built, they had to perform in the high school theater, or they performed in local churches or other, smaller venues. Having a world-class theater with a full fly tower allows them to do full productions and put on much better quality performances. And we subsidize and support them. We charge them the least rent of anybody who uses the building so that they can put on these performances for the community. And we support Livermore Valley Opera, Livermore Amateur Symphony, Del Val Fine Arts, Pacific Chamber Orchestra, Tri-Valley Theater Company, CYT, and Valley Dance Theater. In the last 3 years alone, we brought 47,000 people for art walk and cultural events. And we've served over 14,000 students in the last 3 years alone with subsidized tickets, arts camps, and classes. Thank you so much.
The next speaker is Mike Piscotti, followed by Glenn Riggs, followed by Donna Caboon.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Mike Piscotti. I'm honored to be able to come here and somewhat testify to the value of the Bankhead to a charity organization. And it happens to be a charity that I'm the president of. It's called the ALS Cure Project. This is a charity that I started along with my son, Stephen Piscotti, following the passing of my wife, Gretchen, in 2018. We raise funds and we sponsor ALS research. To date, we've funded about $4.5 million in research since 2019, many of which has been sent to, about $1.5 million has been sent to Lawrence Livermore Lab, and we're using some of the supercomputers there to do ALS research. I'm more here to tell you a story. So in 2023, I got a call out of the blue from Chris and then Mayor Carla Brown from Pleasanton. And they let me know that a gentleman named George Bowen had contracted ALS. George is a musician and a classic or custom guitar maker, shall we say. It was his wish that to put on a fundraiser for ALS, which is why Carla and Chris both reached out to me to see what we can do to put on an event for George. It was a wonderful opportunity to meet these folks, and Chris in particular was fabulous. He met with George. We found a number of musicians who had custom George Bowen guitars who were more than happy to fly in to Livermore for the concert. It was called the George Bowen Guitar Summit. Chris reached out to each of them. The musicians organized all of that. I didn't have to do any of that. Which was fantastic. We're an all volunteer organization. To have that kind of support was a godsend to us. The staff was wonderful. We sold tickets. They helped me promote the event. Chris, we had a podcast, I think, of some sort that he did to help. And we had a wonderful evening at the Bankhead. It really was one of the more magical evenings of my life. And kind of culminated when George sang The Boxer from Simon and Garfunkel in front of everybody. It was really a very special evening. So since then, Chris and our relationship has continued to grow, continues to support the charity. He'll offer tickets that we can auction at our events and whatnot. And I just very, very pleased to be part of this. And I really want to let you guys know that you have a fantastic facility in the Bankhead. You have a great staff at the LVA, but you have an incredible, empathetic leader who I hope we continue to take care of and nourish in the future with Chris. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Piscotti. That George Bowen concert was absolutely incredible. I was there. Thank you.
The next speaker is Glenn Riggs, followed by Donna Cobain, followed by John Bost.
Hello, good evening. My name is Glenn Riggs. I am yet another president. So taking the podium, I'm the president of Tri-Valley Theater Company. And we are a nonprofit theater company, and we have the pleasure of performing at the Bankhead Theater. And I love that we get the chance to be there. I took over as president 2 years ago when they were getting ready to shut the doors on Tri-Valley Theater Company. I started 30 years ago at Pleasanton Playhouse, performing at Amador Theater, at a time in my life where I didn't have anywhere else to go. I didn't belong anywhere, and theater was the first place that I felt like I was at a home. We talk a lot about what the Bankhead Theater does for downtown and for the arts and people being able to come and see a fantastic show. I wanted to focus on what happens before we put a show on that stage. We are rehearsing The Addams Family literally right now. I'm directing that show, and they're rehearsing without me tonight so that I can be here this evening. But in our show, we have people of all sorts of different colors and flavors and backgrounds and lifestyles. We have people who don't feel comfortable being themselves anywhere except for in our rehearsal space and in that theater. And without having a place to showcase our talents and our shows, we wouldn't have any reason to rehearse. And so we started rehearsing this show in October, and it performs in January. And that means that we get the chance to build a family within a family by performing our show and running it and practicing it. We have people who, one of our actors, his mother was just recently diagnosed with cancer. Another actor has a parent who is going through the struggles of a stroke. They get to come and be supported in an environment and in a place where there's nothing but love. And we sing through it. Most of all is that we get to sing through it. So our partnership with the Bankhead Theater over the last couple of years has just really grown and blossomed. I was able to go to Chris several months ago and say, hey, look, I don't know how we're gonna make it. It's been impossible for us to really perform as a nonprofit successfully because of the lack of donations and funding and regulations and rules around who we can pay and who we can't pay. And we came to Chris, and Chris met us with solutions and teamwork and collaboration and ways that we can keep going. And so we're looking forward to finishing up this season at the Bankhead Theater, and we are already planning for our next season. So thank you all for supporting the arts and for giving us this time this evening.
The next speaker is Donna Cobain, followed by John Bost, followed by Sherry Souza.
Good evening, City Council members. Here's what we know about PFAS contamination at the airport. Elevated PFAS chemicals exist in the soil and groundwater at LVK. All groundwater samples exceeded PFAS allowable concentration levels. PFAS were found at an estimated concentration of 3,000 nanograms per liter, many multiples in excess of the maximum contaminant level of 4 nanograms per liter. In soil taken from the South Hanger area, PFAS exceeded screening levels for construction worker exposure. The city must submit an additional investigative work plan to the Water Board by February 2nd. The work plan is needed to determine the extent of the groundwater plume contamination and to determine the next steps. Under matters initiated by the council, please agendize the Geocentric report and all Water Board correspondence for a city council meeting in January to address the following questions. 1, how well elevated PFAS findings affect hangar development in the South Hanger area, especially South Hanger S-1? Who are the suspected responsible parties for the PFAS contamination detected at Hangar S-1? 3, does the PFAS contamination at LVK adversely affect the beneficial uses of groundwater and human health within our water basin. 4, well airport development be postponed until the required water board investigations are finalized. 5, GAMI 100 UL is approved and certified by the FAA for piston engine aircraft. Will you direct the FBO to start selling GAMI 100 UL for piston engine aircraft at LVK as soon as possible? 6, noise from jet aircraft continues to be a major concern. Voluntary noise abatement methods have not worked. Will you consider other ways to reduce jet aircraft noise? Discussing water board correspondence and informing the public about elevated PFAS contamination at LVK at a city council meeting will increase transparency with the taxpayers. Let's work together to make a safer airport for all. Thank you for your consideration.
The next speaker is John Bost, followed by Sherry Souza, followed by Brian Balaz.
Good evening. Disclaimer first, Chris Carter and I are in a band together, so I'm contractually obligated to speak favorably of him and Livermore Valley. The way he put it is Chris Carter is without a doubt the best musician in our band. So, I remember when Chris first called me early 2024 to say, we'd love to make available to you tickets for the folks that stay in your overnight shelter. And I remember that was, I think that was Valentine's Day weekend. And so we had folks going on dates with one another to the Bankhead Theater. And I remember being on shift that night and seeing those same folks come back. And for a moment, if you closed your eyes, it felt like the world was put back together again. Just the excitement and the vibrance, the exhilaration of the show coming back. And then I thought that would be a one and done. And Chris called again and said, let's do this again. And that phone call kept coming. It was so popular, in fact, that he said, let's just not stop with the folks that stay at the overnight shelter. Let's also offer this to your staff. We know they carry heavy loads. We know there's a lot of weight in this job. Let's invite them to the Bankhead too to see a show of their choosing. How many tickets do you need? I thought that would be a one and done, but that phone call kept coming as well. The Bankhead and Livermore Valley Arts are so much a part of the connective tissue of Livermore. It's hard to imagine a Livermore without it. Its location is central, but I feel like it's part of the sort of spiritual mythic quality of Livermore too, that it brings us together and holds us together. And if at only 2 hours at a time keeps us from destroying one another on social media, that in and of itself would be a gift to us all. Popular character in a early 2000 show, James Spader in Boston Legal once told a client that you can be happy or aware in this life, but you can't be both at the same time. And yet somehow for 2 hours at a time, and if we're lucky, even more at the Bankhead, it feels like we can be both. Thank you.
It's also said that the world is a comedy for those who think and a tragedy for those who feel.
The next speaker is Sherry Souza, followed by Brian Balaz, followed by Valerie Jonas.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. I'm happy to be here tonight to give a testimonial on my support of Livermore Valley Arts, Chris Carter and his staff, and the Bankhead Theater. The Bankhead is a huge asset in our community. Chris and his staff have done a great job at bringing a diverse offering of entertainment to our community, from ethnic and cultural dancers to comedians and speakers to performing artists and music offerings that enrich our residents and visitors with art in every form. The venue is being used by many community entities and is valuable in the location and the usefulness of the building for many purposes. The Bankhead provides our community with a local gathering space and feeds our need for entertainment, education, and sometimes just plain old fun. I believe that Chris and his staff do outstanding work in outreach and promotion of the venue and work hard to accommodate the needs of the users. The Chamber of Commerce has used the venue quite a few times in the past 3 years for events and gets a good response from our members when we have events at the Bankhead. I cannot say enough good things about the management and the offerings that they provide to our community. I am certainly a fan of the Bankhead and the direction it is going. And I'm just here to give my support to all they're doing over there. It's a wonderful thing that's happening in our community. Thank you.
The next speaker is Brian Balaz, followed by Valerie Jonas, followed by Shakay Sulikayan.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Marchand and City Council and Livermore City staff. I'm here also to voice my support for the Bankhead Theater and Livermore Valley Arts. My name is Brian Balaz and I moved to Livermore in 1992. And I lived in Mill Springs Park, the apartments right next to what used to be Growth Brothers Chevrolet and the Bank of America, which is still there. The downtown Livermore has been transformed quite a bit since that time and in a very positive way. So what I recall from those days are very different from what I see now. I see a vibrant downtown. I see restaurants that are full. The Bankhead has many wonderful shows, and I'm really appreciative of all the work that LVA has done, not just for the citizens of Livermore, but also in support of other organizations. Numerous speakers before me have mentioned that their organization has benefited. I've been a former chair of the Pedrosi Scholarship Foundation and Spark, Shakespeare Performing Arts Regional Company. I'm past chair for that as well, formerly Livermore Shakes. And we also benefit by that. So these organizations, along with a host of others, have benefited in a very positive way. And so I just want to add my support to the LVA, city staff, City of Livermore for supporting the Bankhead and making, as Chris Carter put it in his remarks, a more lively, vibrant, and healthy community. Thank you.
The next speaker is Valerie Jonas, followed by Shakay Sulikayan, followed by Victor Curtis.
Good evening, Mayor Marchand, City Council members and staff. My name is Valerie Jonas, and I am currently the chair of Spark Theater and a board member of Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance. And as mentioned, both of these organizations have benefited greatly from partnerships with the Bankhead and LVA. The Bankhead is a key resource for our nonprofit organizations and our local artists. It's the anchor home for many regional performing arts groups, the showcase gallery for visual artists, and willing collaborator with the nonprofit sector. Accessibility and affordability are priorities. LVA's introduction of both the tickets for our open heart folks and also their equitable pricing tiers enable more community members to experience the arts. But I want to tell you about why I am regularly blown away by the authentic and often unexpected experiences I enjoy at the Bankhead. Here's an example. Recently, following an exquisite performance of Beethoven's Seventh by Pacific Chamber Orchestra, I exited the theater directly into the Filipino Barrio Fiesta and was spellbound for an hour by the break dancing contest. And then I got to purchase a jar of delicious ube spread right here in Livermore. I want to thank the city for its role in sustaining the Bankhead, an exceptional asset for our community. Thank you.
The next speaker is Shakay Sulikayan, followed by Victor Curtis, followed by David Victor.
Good evening. I'm Shakay Sulikayan, and I've been a proud Livermore resident since 2015. I'm also a member, a donor, and an avid patron of the Bankhead and Livermore Valley Arts. For me, the Bankhead isn't just a building. It's the cultural heart of our city and a crucial contributor to the region's incredible quality of life. Our family moved to the Tri-Valley from the Boston area, where I was accustomed to having access to world-class arts and cultural organizations. When we purchased our home in the Roanwood neighborhood, little did I know that the proximity to the Bankhead was an incredible bonus for us. Their commitment to variety is extraordinary. It truly provides something for everyone. My family, friends, and I have had the privilege to see hilarious comedians, thought-provoking storytellers, rock bands, musicians, theater, dance, and magic shows that sparked conversations long after we left our seats. It is incredible to find such a diverse and high-quality lineup under one roof. But the benefits extend far beyond the curtain call. LVA is dedicated to community partners, as you've heard tonight, by hosting events for other organizations and serves as an important convening place for our region. They provide educational and affordable classes and shows. They're actively engaged in making our community better, not just entertaining it. And on a personal note, the Bankhead is creating memories that will last a lifetime. Seeing my now teenage son captivated by a performance is priceless. Shows at the Bankhead are opening his mind to new ideas, new cultures, and new ways of seeing the world. The arts are not a luxury. They are a fundamental part of a flourishing life and our experience of processing the world and events around us. To me, the partnership between the city and LVA is a resounding success story. Thank you for supporting the arts in our community.
The next speaker is Victor Curtis, followed by David Victor, followed by Christine Dillman.
Hi there. My name is Victor Curtis, and I'm an 8th grader and a musician who plays the upright bass in orchestra. I've been going to the Bankhead for many years now, and I'm glad I'm part of the membership that makes it possible for the Bankhead to host awesome shows, musicals, and productions. I want to say I love watching these shows, and the most recent one I saw was Uptown, which was performed by this band of the same name. I love going to these events, even if I give my mom a little grief about going to them. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is David Victor, followed by Christine Dillman. Excuse me, followed by Kelly Bowers.
Hi, good evening. My name is David Victor. I'm very grateful to be here tonight to share how the Bankhead Theater has been a true supporter of my business and other small businesses in the community. I'm involved in 2 companies. First is my catering company, On the Vine Catering, which many of you guys would know about. We are honored to handle many of the Bankhead's in-house events, such as the gala and volunteer dinners. That steady partnership has meant the consistent work that we can rely on, but sorry, hard for me. Consistent work that we rely on. When an organization like the Bankhead Theater brings you back year after year, it helps you grow, refine your service, and build a strong reputation in the company, in the community. My second company is Amuse Kitchen, which houses up to 35 local food producers. The Bankhead has hosted many of our producers and who have been able to participate, and that kind of visibility is huge. One of the things that I appreciate is Bankhead brings in a lot of outside of the downtown businesses and brings them in a place where we get a lot of visibility and a lot of recognition, which really helps build their reputation. That kind of visibility puts local food businesses in front of engaged guests who are ready to support the community. One thing the Bankhead does especially well is recognition. They acknowledge vendors and partners in their advertising and event promotion. That may sound small, but it helps make a difference because those guests remember who they enjoyed and follow them up. We've seen that firsthand. People who first tasted our food at the Bankhead have reached out and afterward booked us for private events. We're grateful to the Bankhead for supporting local businesses, for giving us opportunities, for helping turn event partnerships into real growth. Thank you for the City of Livermore and the Bankhead Theater for being such a staunch supporter of the arts and the small business community.
The next speaker is Christine Dillman, followed by Carrie Bowers, and the last speaker will be Lisa Tromovich.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and community partners. My name is Christine Dillman. I'm the Executive Director of Tri-Valley Haven and a board member of the Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I want to express Tri-Valley Haven's deep appreciation for Livermore Valley Performing Arts Center and the Bankhead Theater, and to highlight the meaningful role they play in strengthening our community, particularly for our most vulnerable residents. Under the leadership of Executive Director Chris Carter, the Bankhead Theater has generously provided free tickets to our shelter residents for a wide range of performances. These are experiences including live music, theater, and cultural events our clients simply could not access on their own. Many of our shelter residents are rebuilding their lives after escaping domestic violence, sexual assault, or homelessness. The opportunity to step into a beautiful community space, to feel welcomed, inspired, and included is profoundly healing. For our residents, these moments are more than entertainment. They are reminders that they belong to a broader community who cares for them. They give people who are recovering from trauma opportunities to reconnect with joy, creativity, and hope. I have seen firsthand how attending a performance at the Bankhead Theater can lift someone's spirits, spark confidence, and offer a meaningful break from the enormous challenges they face. The Bankhead Theater is not only a cultural landmark, it is a community asset in the truest sense. Their ongoing commitment to accessibility and inclusion benefits nonprofits across the Tri-Valley. LVPAC regularly partners with local service organizations like Tri-Valley Haven, expands access to arts, and enhances the overall well-being of our region. These partnerships demonstrate what is possible when arts organizations and human service agencies work together for the common good. On behalf of Tri-Valley Haven, I want to thank Chris Carter and the entire team at Livermore Valley Performing Arts Center for recognizing the importance of community connections and for investing in the people who need it most. Their generosity and civic spirit strengthen our collective work and enrich the city of Livermore. Thank you so much.
The next speaker is Kelly Bowers, followed by Lisa Tromovich.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Marchand and esteemed Livermore Council members. I'm Dr. Kelly Bowers, and I'm speaking from a few different perspectives tonight. First, as a proud longtime Livermore resident, and then also as a former drama teacher and musical director and former superintendent of schools, and the current CEO president for Three Valleys Community Foundation. But most importantly tonight, I think for the topic at hand, a committed board member of Livermore Valley Arts. So I want to speak to the extraordinary value of the Bankhead Theater and underscore the speaker's comments before me. It is a true community asset, but it's also a crown jewel of our region. And I know that personally because I have family members that live in Lafayette, Orinda, Pleasanton, and San Ramon, and they come and congregate here to Livermore. And often it's for the community feeling and the Bankhead. I also wanted to commend Livermore Valley Arts, Chris, Rihanna, and the staff because they have stewarded responsibly, creatively, and resiliently through the pandemic and beyond. And what has been accomplished over these years is nothing short of remarkable. From the youth perspective, there's a great deal of discussion about the achievement gap, but as educators and community leaders like you know full well, the gap is rooted just as deeply in experience, exposure, and opportunity gap. That's precisely where the Bankhead shines, and the Bothwell. These are places where young people, including those who are underserved or may never have had the chance to travel beyond their neighborhood, gain access to performances, master classes, multicultural events, and world-class artists who can expand their sense of what's possible. Exposure for them becomes inspiration, and inspiration becomes opportunity and a brighter future. Through the Bankhead experiences, whether on stage or in the audience or in associated programs, our youth learn confidence, poise, self-esteem, discipline, and collaboration. These skills that will serve them for a lifetime. And they learn them right here in their hometown, performing in the resident companies and being welcomed on a professional stage. Earlier, one of the speakers said they can't imagine our community without the Bankhead. I don't have to imagine. I was a drama and musical teacher when we didn't have it. And our students performed and loved it in makeshift gyms at Christensen Middle School. And they couldn't wait to get to Livermore High to see a real stage and perform then. And so the Bankhead was truly a magical experience once it materialized. It's also a critically important platform for the nonprofits. And I'm not going to repeat everything because everyone said it so eloquently. But we all know that in this world where there are so many things that divide us, anything that can bring us together, any unifying force that builds that sense of belonging is something that is truly immeasurably invaluable. So the Bankhead is more than a building, it's that bridge. It's connecting generations, strengthening nonprofits, uplifting our youth, and anchoring our most vibrant, inclusive, and thriving community that attracts people from everywhere.
And the last speaker is Lisa Tromovich.
Who's the shortest one? Good evening. I'm Lisa Tromovich, Executive Director of Spark Theater. Three things. First, I'd like to wish Mayor John Marchand, our hardworking council members, and our amazingly talented and intelligent Livermore City staff peace and joy this holiday season. We're so lucky to live in Livermore with you all as our stewards. Thank you. Second, I'd like to celebrate, along with many other people today, the City of Livermore, the owners of, and the Livermore Valley Arts staff and board, the operators of the Bankhead Theater, keeping it filled with vibrant entertainment that lifts community spirits, contributing to the social fabric of our community by providing a home for community meetings and support for outdoor events on the plaza, most, if not all of which are free to the public. As Chris mentioned, we at Spark are collaborating with LVA to produce the American classic, The Glass Menagerie, in May, a black box theater experience in what they call the Stage Door Lounge. Our staff are working together and enjoying the process. Lacking a true studio theater in which to provide live professional theater productions, LVA is offering us the opportunity to use the stage itself as both stage and audience seating for an intimate experience of this masterful play that examines both the fragility of a family under economic duress, as well as a particular point in American history. Not only will this project provide a meaningful experience for the public, but it will also strengthen both organizations as we work and learn together. Third, I'd like you all to know about, I can kind of hold this up, know about our upcoming program, our holiday reading program, the Holiday Soiree. It's a casual, low stress, low price point holiday tradition where a $35 ticket includes a hot cocoa bar, a treat, including gluten-free, and readings of secular holiday stories embodied by professional actors. That's December 12th and through the 14th. And come January, adult improv classes, as well as after school for grades 3 to 8, will begin again at Spark Studio, bringing lifelong learners of all ages to our lovely downtown. So thank you for your support of the arts and culture, and especially the arts workers who make it all possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and happy holidays. I'll leave some flyers.
That concludes open forum.
Okay, thank you. So preaching to the choir here, we all understand the importance of the arts. In fact, as many of you know, I started out in theater. This is very near and dear to my heart. And you know, thinking back of some very scary times about 14 years ago, when the Bankhead was within a few weeks of closing its doors forever. And the city of Livermore, recognizing just how important that asset was able to put all those pieces together, and we were able to buy the Bankhead. And so ensuring its long-term viability in our community, because we recognize the importance of the arts and how it is really an investment in the community. Sincerely appreciate the tremendous work that LVA does, and I sincerely appreciate our partnership, and look forward to many, many decades and many generations of the arts here in Livermore. So certainly appreciate that. Any other comments? Okay, with that, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Thank you all for coming out. Okay, moving on to The consent calendar, we're gonna have to take this in two pieces. Is there anybody that do we have any public comment for consent?
Yes, Mayor, there are. We have two speakers, Donna Cabane and Alan Marling. Ms. Cabane, are you gonna?
Good evening, City Council members. Tonight, you have been asked to approve additional loans of $8 million and $4 million for Five Rivers Aviation LLC, the fixed-based operator at LVK. The proposed financing, facilitated through Fremont Bank and supported by a Small Business Administration TMC loan, will give the FBO better loan terms. The FBO, Mr. Sandhu, runs a business and is looking out for his business interests in securing lower interest rates. However, before giving consent to the loans, the city requested additional protections, including the right to assume the daily operations of the FBO, if necessary, to maintain service at the airport. These are valid and necessary protections. Since you have added protections to solidify a business partnership, will you also add tonight a requirement to protect the health of Tri-Valley residents? We know the exhaust from piston engine aircraft during run-ups with the air traffic controller are poisonous and preventable. The exhaust is poisonous and preventable. A possible solution? Request as a condition of the loans that the FBO offer GAMI UL 100 at LVK for piston engine aircraft. GAMI UL 100 is fully approved and certified by the FAA. It can be used with any piston engine aircraft or airport fuel tank. A justification for consenting to the loans is Community Pillar 5, a city that works. Surely, a city that works can simultaneously support business partnerships, support essential infrastructure such as the airport, and improve the health of its residents. Thank you for your consideration.
And the last speaker is Alan Marling.
Mayor and council members, I'm a Livermore resident. This is in regards to item 6.3. Gene King and Joan Sepala have entrenched themselves in the board of directors of the Livermore Valley Arts. These two plutocrats think they own the town. They always try to handpick their own council members. And whenever we come to a democratic decision they don't like, they attempt to veto it with money in the form of spurious lawsuits and disinformation in the newspaper owned by Sepala, the ill-named Independent. They have delayed affordable housing downtown for years. This harms Livermore workers, including arts workers, who must commute long distances, stealing time from their lives, forcing them away from their families and onto freeways, congesting them and worsening the climate crisis. As affordable housing is disproportionately needed by people of color, this is also an issue of racial justice. Apparently, even all the arts consumption wasn't enough to bolster Sepala and King's empathy. I urge the council not to treat Livermore Valley Arts as if two of its prominent board members are not actively harming our community. Can you shut down the bankhead, or at least issue a statement of condemnation towards board members Gene King and Joan Sepala? If the city grants funding to LVA, it would be just, if not right, to defund the budget by the millions this city has spent defending itself from their lawsuits, which are antithetical to the inclusivity and goodwill LVA stands for. Thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Okay, bringing it back to the council. First thing I'm going to do is separate the two. We'll separate the two and we'll move 6.1 first and then bring it back for any discussion of any of the other items. So do I have a motion for 6.1 because Vice Mayor Branning was not at the meeting. So we'll need a separate motion for that. Okay, motion made by Councilmember Barrientos, seconded by Councilmember Dunbar. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Abstain. All right. Okay, bringing back to 6.2 and the rest of the consent calendar. Is there anything that anybody wishes to pull for comment or discussion? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I just wanted to note before moving item, where'd it go?
They
The-
move.
Sorry,
They
and
move
then I will
around.
move it, yes. That we were under budget on the stream maintenance, which substantially, which was great work on staff's behalf. Thank you for all of that. It's a CIP for stormwater, so we're just gonna put it into more storm maintenance in the future, but wanted to show my appreciation for that.
Was that 610, the unexpended balances?
No, it's 6.2 for
Okay.
notice of completion. And other than that, I will move the consent calendar.
Okay, motion for the entire consent calendar. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Vice Mayor Branning. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition, abstentions? It passes unanimously. Okay, there's no public hearings tonight, so amazing. Moving on to matters for consideration. The appointment of the vice mayor. So is there any public comment on this?
No, sir.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to close the public comment period. Recognizing that, first off, I would like to say thank you to the Vice Mayor Branning for the tremendous service that he's done over the last year. There were many occasions where I couldn't participate and he stepped up and handled it very, very well. So the purpose of the vice mayor is to advance the agenda and the policies of the council majority and of the mayor in absence of the mayor. Also, the vice mayor is typically the only member of the council which the mayor may confer outside of a public meeting. So it is a very important position, and I would like to nominate Councilmember Christy Wong to serve as the next vice mayor. Are you willing to accept the nomination?
It would be a great honor. Thank you.
Okay, do I have a second?
I would be happy to second that.
Okay, motion and second. Any discussion on the motion?
Just a quick comment.
Sure.
I just wanted to say thank you very much. I very much enjoyed being the vice mayor. It was a great honor to be able to serve the city and represent the city at many events. And a ton of fun conferring with you on items before the meetings and just being a presence for the city. And I look very much forward to Councilmember Wong serving the role. I think you'll do an excellent job. You show up everywhere already, so I think you are a perfect fit. So I hope you enjoy it.
Great.
Thank you. You leave big shoes to fill.
Well, as Vice Mayor pointed out, you're at most of the events already anyway, so certainly appreciate the time commitment.
Thank you.
So with that, there being no further discussion on the motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passes unanimously. Moving on to the appointment of the council members for the subcommittee, for the advisory body subcommittee for the interviews. So with that, there's a rotation on that. Is there any public comment on this?
No public comments. been
Okay,
received.
I'm going to close the public comment period. My recommendation would be to follow the rotation would be a Vice Mayor Wong and Councilmember Dunbar. Do I have a second?
I'll second again. Sure.
Okay, seconded by by the council member Branning.
It's okay. It takes a minute.
You know,
It's been only 2 so far.
I still talk about we as for zone 7, you know, so, okay, with that, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions, opposition? It passes unanimously. I checked with all of the council members and they are currently content with their current assignments, as was sent out in the packet. And I personally find that there's a great deal of value in relying on the experience of the council members attending these events because they can bring a certain amount of, as I said, experience to it and draw on their knowledge. So with that, I would recommend that we keep the current assignments. The attorneys.
We're nodding because I asked if we still need a motion when you're ready. For
Okay,
it.
yeah, I'll get there. Just, okay. I just didn't want to have to read through the whole list again. So with that recommendation to maintain the current assignments, I'll take a motion. Oh,
No public comments been received.
no public comment. All right. Close public comment period. Bringing it back, do I have a motion for the current assignments?
I'll move approval.
Motion made by Councilmember Dunbar.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Vice Mayor Wong. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed unanimously. Then bring it back for matters initiated and report out. Councilmember Dunbar.
Happy holidays, everyone. Hope you take a nice little break and come back refreshed in the new year, as will I.
All right. Councilmember Barrientos.
Yeah, I did not put in but I did. Anyway, I was down for a little while with my little flu here, but so all these on December the 1st, which mostly you did too anyway. Well, but I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to cook 600 pancakes for Sunset Elementary, and we donated about 3 big pans full of pancakes to Shepherd's Gate. And after that, I cleaned up a little bit and ran over to Alma's Kitchen for the ribbon cutting. That was interesting. My assistant coach is from Nepal, and he kept telling me what I should order or I should try. And it was tasty. And then after that, join you at the Christmas parade. You know, practice my British
The
way.
royal wave.
Yes. And I said, well, we did get heated seats in our trailer. Not okay. Sorry. Anyway, and then after that, I did have time to go into I'm not sure if people understand that the independent newspaper, they opened their doors for a gallery, and I walked into the gallery and got to meet the artists. And it's a nice use of the building for artists to show off their wares and sell some of their items. And that's it.
All right, very good. Councilmember Branning.
All right. So since I wasn't here last time, there was a whole lot of things on my list. This time, as you might have seen, if you ever wonder where our stipends go, it is paying for all the different events we are attending, especially in the holiday season. It is quite a fun but busy time. There's only one thing I would really want to highlight, which is that I'm now a board member for the East Bay Division of Cal Cities. So if anyone has in staff, council, if there are issues that you want brought to the Cal Cities division, I now am on that board. So that was very exciting. We had my first meeting today. I suppose it wasn't most of the rest of the board's first meeting. Other than that, we are getting to a cold time of year, so I want to wish everyone a very happy holidays, but also to remind them that we do have unsheltered neighbors out there who are in need at this time. Small donations go a long way. Our shelters, our nonprofits are all looking for different supplies at this time. Often they are not the items you would think to donate. There are things that are just in high demand, like socks often are in very high demand. So check with the nonprofits, see if there's anything you can do to help. And just if you do see anyone in need, spread the word. We're going to be having the warming centers opening as the weather starts to get colder. So please make sure to reach out to your neighbors who are less fortunate and try to give them as well a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vice Mayor Huang.
I just want to express appreciation to Livermore Downtown Inc. for putting together two huge events in one weekend. I don't know how they did it, but the Holiday Village at Carnegie Park and then the Holiday Parade, which for a minute, I had to remind myself I wasn't in Times Square. It was incredible when Santa came down the street in the fire truck and everyone just filled the streets. It was really very cool. So thank you to Livermore Downtown Inc. And happy holidays, everybody.
All right, so all the other events, but two to highlight, on the 29th of November, we had the opening for Casa del Pomba, Deacon Dave's holiday extravaganza. There were over 952,000 lights there this year. It was spectacular. And this is his gift to the community. It's the 42nd anniversary, I believe, of his ordination as a deacon. So this is his gift to our community. Also attended the parade, and I think that 1 out of every 3 or 4 people in Livermore showed up for the parade. It was just an incredible turnout, their community coming together. I certainly appreciate that. Also coming up, we have on December 20th, Saturday is going to be our menorah lighting in the downtown. That's always a lot of fun. They have sufganiot. Those are the little jelly-filled donuts, latkes, and hot chocolate. So please come out for that. And that will be in front of the Bankhead Theater. So thank you for that. With that, I'm going to adjourn this meeting in honor and memory of Anna Sigg. Anna Sigg was a long time friend of the city of Livermore. She was one of the founders of Livermore Heritage Guild. She actually stood in front of the bulldozer to save the Livermore Depot and allow it to eventually be moved back to the railroad tracks to once become a train depot again. She was married to the late Gary Drummond, who served as our town historian. She passed away in October, a longtime friend of our community. So with that, I'm going to adjourn in honor and memory of Anna Sigg. Thank you very much.
Council members, if you wouldn't mind, this is my last meeting before I retire. So can we take a picture?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so